The global gaming market is currently worth close to $50 billion and is expected to double in the upcoming years. Casinos are buzzing, sports betting is rampant, and the online gaming is growing faster than ever. But where did this all start? Today, we're going to take you on a journey through history to discover what made this phenomenon so deeply ingrained in our society. The concept of gambling is very simple and consists of three basic elements: a wager, an event with an uncertain outcome, and of course, a prize. Due to the simplicity, it may not be so surprising to learn that gambling dates back to the prehistoric era and has emerged in basically every single society on Earth. The earliest evidence of gambling dates back to the Paleolithic era, commonly known as the Stone Age, which was a period that extended from approximately 3 million to 12,000 years ago. One of the earliest gambling items was the astragali, small animal bones which were marked and functioned similar to dice. In fact, the earliest six-sided die dates back to 3000 BC Mesopotamia and were based on these astragali. Playing cards, however, were not invented until much later in the 9th century in China during the Tang Dynasty. Before being printed on paper or plastic, the Chinese used woodblock printing or leaves. Cards made their way across the world in the following centuries, and the first evidence of them being introduced in Western culture was 14th century Southern Europe, through North Africa, where the four suits that we're familiar with today originated. The first casino in recorded history was the Ridotto in Venice, established in 1638. However, at the time, it was not called a casino, but simply a gambling house. It was closed in 1774 when the government noticed it was impoverishing the locals. Across the Atlantic, gambling was introduced by the first settlers in the British American colonies. During the colonial era, up until the American Revolution in the 18th century, the main gambling activities were horse races and state-run lotteries. These lotteries were especially widespread as the colonies used them as a means of funding. Horse racing was particularly popular in Virginia, organized by elite members of society who held a tight grip on the lucrative business. Restrictions on lotteries imposed by the British Crown were actually some of the reasons that led to the American Revolution. Gambling houses continued to rise in popularity in the post-revolutionary America, and New Orleans grew to become the nation's leading gambling center with its famous riverboat casinos. Despite how widespread gambling was, fierce backlash grew amongst legislators, moralists, and religious communities who were attempting to regulate or outright ban the practice. At the beginning of the 20th century, gambling was almost completely outlawed in the United States. This caused many criminal and mafia organizations to form, taking the industry underground. Illegal gambling then quickly became one of the most profitable businesses, led by powerful crime syndicates. The heyday of gambling in the American frontier lasted between 1850 and 1910. Almost every single person, from farmer to miner, lawman to outlaw, gambled as a form of entertainment. Whenever a new settlement or town was established, one of the first buildings would either be a gambling hall or a saloon that hosted gambling events. The California Gold Rush of 1849 brought many foreign gamblers to the region, making San Francisco the next largest gambling hotspot of the West. Many people became successful professional gamblers, gaining respect and a whole lot of money by running fair and licensed games at saloons or gambling halls. The restrictions on gambling slowly loosened up across the United States, especially during the Great Depression of the 1930s, when it was used as a form of economic relief and a way to fund charitable organizations that would help the poor. However, after World War II, gambling restrictions had a comeback in the United States. This is when Las Vegas, Nevada slowly grew into the gambling safe haven it is today. Thanks to its cheap travel and good connections, the city killed other illegal gambling organizations across the country. In 1977, New Jersey legalized gambling in Atlantic City, making it another popular gambling center, turning it from a rundown slum into the prime touristic destination it is today. In the 90s, Michigan legalized gambling in Detroit, and riverboat casinos started cropping up in Louisiana, Illinois, and several other states. At the turn of the millennium, internet gambling and online casinos were legalized in some states and opened a brand new market that is exponentially growing until this very day. Today, online gambling is legal in many states such as New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and even Delaware, and the market is slowly opening up and changing every single day. Thank you for watching this episode of History of Gambling. I'd like to remind you to like our video and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for future content. My name's Dominic. This is the All American Casino Guide, wishing you luck and reminding you to play responsibly.